Everyone forget that bit. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your third show-off of the second half? He's a show-off newbie, so give him a massive, massive amount of love. John Chouler! Hello! And hello! My name's John, I'm from the University of Bath. The poshos cheered. Anyway, you lucky devils, I'm going to talk about some research that I'm doing for my PhD tonight, and that is microbial fuel sensors as water sensors. Microbial fuel cells as water sensors for developing countries. I hope that made sense. If not, you will find out soon. But first, to discover what that means, I need your help. And I've distributed some white cards, laminated white cards amongst you. Wave them in the air like you just don't care. Yep, I'll be needing you soon. Keep those words on that white paper, stick it on thine chest and get ready to come up here very soon. And allow me to get serious for a moment. Water, as you may well know, fresh water, is a scarce and precious resource. To put this into perspective for you, 1 in 10 people don't have access to safe water. 1 in 3 people don't have access to adequate sanitation. 500,000 children a year die because they caused by diarrhea from not having safe water or adequate sanitation. Now, charities such as WaterAid are trying to tackle these issues by sourcing fresh water in developing countries. For example, by digging a water well. But before you can use that water, you've got to test it to see if it's safe to drink, right? Now, usually this takes a whole range of sophisticated and expensive lab techniques to see if you've got toxins in that water. And what's more, if you're in a rural community, you've got to send that water sample far away, making a whole water testing process time-consuming and costly, which ain't good. Now, what these charities really need is something cheap, simple, and gives you a quick response so you can tell if that water's good to drink or not. Now, I believe that microbial fuel cells can be the answer to this problem. Now, to see why I believe this, I'm going to need your help, you waving card people out there. And we're going to answer 2 questions together today. One is being, how does a microbial fuel cell work? And 2 is being, how can we use a microbial fuel cell as a water sensor? So first, answer question number 1. How does a microbial fuel cell work? To see this, we need to make a microbial fuel cell. So for this, we need 2 electrodes. So anode and cathode, come on up. Anode, cathode, come on up. Yeah. Love the support. Anode, you will need this, and you can come follow me and stand over here, please. Can't see much of that. Yeah, it's very bright, isn't it? If you'd like to read what's on my card that I've just given you.
Hello, I am the anode and I'm negative.
Don't boo them. And then we need a cathode as well. Cathode as loud as you can.
Hello, I am the cathode and I am positive.
Hey, you've got to love both electrodes, right? Now we've got 2 electrodes and we are going to... Oh, they got your card that they can read together. That one, wait for it, you've got to read them both at the same time, as loud as you can, you've got to yell them out!
We love
electrochemical reaction.
If you didn't get that, they love electrochemical reactions! Isn't that brilliant? We've got 2 electrodes here, this is the first step to a fuel cell, now we need a membrane to separate the 2, so proton exchange membrane, come on up! Woo! Here you go, you need to read this.
Hi everyone, I am the proton exchange membrane. I separate the anode and the cathode and only let protons across.
Remember that, everyone. Now we have separated our 2 electrodes with a membrane in the middle. You need to stand forward a bit here, thank you very much. And we need to join up the 2 electrodes with an external circuit. So one person is external circuit, bring your buddy sat next to you and 2 of you come up. Come on. External circuit. We need 2 folks. Quick as it can, because we've only got 9 minutes and I didn't really plan this very well. Come on, now join up your electrodes, join up your cathode, join up your anode and cathode. Stand forward a little bit as well for me, so you get in the light, that's it. Join them up, link hands. And then read this as loud as you can.
Hello, we are the external circuit. We let electrons go between the electrodes and create the electric current.
Excellent. Now we have a fuel cell here, so we have 2 electrodes, we have a membrane in the middle, and we have an external circuit joining the electrodes together. Now, how the hell do we make this microbial? We need to add some bacteria. Bacteria, come on up, bacteria. What a star. Bacteria, you need to stand by the anode just over there. It's going to get quite crowded on here. And bacteria, I have something.
Hello, I am the bacteria. I am lonely and want somewhere to grow. So I'm going to cling on to the anode.
Yeah! She's going to cling on to the anode. Cling on now. True love. Anyway, so now we have our microbial fuel cell, we have our electrodes, our membrane, and external circuit, and we made it microbial by putting some bacteria in there. Now, how the hell does this thing work? So we need to operate our fuel cell. To do this, we need to add in some organic substrate. Substrate, if you are a substrate, come on out. And then take the UV to the puppies, and then if you want to go over by the anode over here for me, thank you very much. It's so bright out here, isn't it? And then read this guy.
Hello, I am the substrate. I am an organic, biodegradable molecule and would like to be consumed by the bacteria because I am yummy. I can be something such as glucose or acetate.
Or in this case, biscuits! And so what we do, we feed in our organic substrate to the anode side, and the bacteria eats up the substrate. Go on, you need to feed the bacteria now. That's why I think the biscuits. I'm going to do wrong. So, we feed our bacteria, and then from this, we make three things. We make carbon dioxide, brackets CO2, protons, H+, and then, what else do we make? Electrons as well. So, carbon dioxide, protons, and electrons. Come on up, come on up. And stand over here for me, please. Squeeze. Yeah. So, okay, firstly, we make carbon dioxide here. And do you remember earlier how I said, actually, maybe you guys want to stand there quickly. You know, remember how I said that the membrane doesn't let anything except protons across. So, if carbon dioxide is to try and cross to the other side of the fuel cell, the membrane will say, you've got to try and cross over now, and you have to say, you shall not pass. So, carbon dioxide simply leaves the fuel cell. Off you go now. Now, protons on the other hand, so you stand on the anode side, protons on the other hand, will try and cross the membrane, and the membrane says, you shall pass. Oh, lovely. Thanks, membrane. And then finally we've got our electrons up here as well. And in order, what the electrons do is travel along the external circuit here. You have to dance along the external circuit. And this produces electricity. Great. So, and then on this side, so we have the protons, the electrons, chilling out by the cathode, and then finally we need to introduce oxygen, O2, quick as you can. And this oxygen usually comes from air. And then what happens is the oxygen, the protons, and the electrons all combine. All combine. They all combine and they produce water! And then they can also leave the stage as well. So we don't anyone stay very proud of that. Thanks very much. Alright, so that's exactly how a fuel cell works. We feed in chemical energy, i.e. our organic substrate / biscuits, we feed in, and then the bacteria use their biochemical pathways to convert this into electrical energy along our external circuit. Ain't that just fantastic? Yeah! Now, question number 2, because that was question number 1 answered. Question number 2 is, how do we operate this thing as a sensor for toxins in water? I don't know. Well, first of all, what we've got to do is feed in our substrate and keep our bacteria happy. Anyway, so what happens is the current that we observe in the electricity is a direct indicator of the metabolic activity of bacteria. So, i.e., if we keep on feeding them, he's going to stay nice, or she's going to stay nice and happy, and we're going to produce a nice steady current. Now, imagine if we introduce a water sample in here. This water sample may have a toxin in it. Toxin in it. Hey! Yeah. Sorry, Beth. And then you can pop over here, you have a water sample, just this way. And then you can introduce yourself.
I'm a toxin.
toxin compound. I'm certainly the most evil character, and I didn't have many friends when growing up. So I like to pick on the bacteria.
So, what happens with the toxin will affect the bacteria in here and affect the metabolic pathways in the bacteria, making the bacteria super unhappy, and then that means that the bacteria doesn't eat the biscuit anymore. Take that biscuit away from them. And then this way, what happens is less organic substrate is metabolized, less electrons are produced, killing me. And less current is observed. A massive one, come on. And then, this is how we can directly observe a toxin. We just see that change in the current and we know that a toxin is there, just using our microbial fuel cell. So that is exactly how a microbial fuel cell can be used to detect toxins in water. This is exactly what I'm studying for my PhD, and I'd like to thank you all very much and give a big hands up to our volunteers.
Bacteria, how are you feeling? Someone needs to buy bacteria a drink. These biscuits are quite dry. Also, in keeping with the theme of the night, the biscuits contained ground up tapeworms.